say thank you.
We're dying. Got here early. That's on you. All right. Well, hey. Welcome to the newest episode of Good Morning, We're Dying. I am Alex, and as always, I am here with
Sam Rager.
Yep. And thanks for still watching this show.
Yeah.
If you've watched the first 4. I didn't say welcome to episode 5 because I do not want to commit to saying what episode number every episode is. Just because I'm going to lose track, number 1. But number 2, hopefully we have a lot of episodes. And I don't want to be like, welcome to episode 1259, you know? So it'll just be welcome to the new episode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
It's a solid way to commit. We're going to set a low bar for ourselves.
Yes. Oh, and we forgot to address it last episode, but we have a new backdrop, which kind of disappoints me a little bit.
I am terrified of deer. I am happy that that's not behind us anymore.
Well, it was a moose, so we're good on that front, I guess. But I don't know. I felt like I feel like this is maybe a little cold, this backdrop.
Like my heart. I think you're not giving enough credit. I think there's an purple, and if they can see all your festival posters, that's an amazing testament to how awesome a comic Alex is, if you haven't already seen him in person or looked him up online. And then you can see all of this fancy technical equipment.
Yeah, hey, everyone looking to any scrappers out there, or just people looking for ways to make a little extra money. Look at all this technology I have. I did really like our backdrop. But my sciatica didn't like moving my couch every weekend. So we're going to have to work with this.
Have you scheduled any doctor's appointments?
I have not.
Alex, we're adding sciatica to the list of things that are wrong that you haven't gotten checked out yet.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things. But yeah, so that's why you are seeing a new backdrop for the show, and maybe it'll keep changing. Who knows? We'll see.
This is good. This is good for both of our elder backs. And my knees aren't what they used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been trying to lose weight in order to... that supposedly will help my legs not having to carry as much girth. My job... we have insurance that covers a dieting app, and it has been really pushing me to use it. I feel after I hit my out-of-pocket maximum that the insurance company is basically begging me, hey, well, you can use this for free. Please lose weight so you don't get sick anymore. Mm-hmm. Which I hit my out-of-pocket maximum because the whole ear thing. It's not like my eardrum collapsed under the weight of my thighs and stomach. And I just have not been consistent with it.
Yeah.
I did not give my coach a heads up that I have chronic constipation and I can lose 11 pounds in the span of a weekend.
You just hit a good run there.
Yeah.
And you can just drop weight in a second.
If she thinks that I'm binging and purging, a part of my body is.
That's funny. So you're using the diet app. Are you exercising as well, or?
I have been trying to train for a half marathon in 2 weeks, but it has not been going well. I'll still do it, but it's going to be significantly more painful and slower than how I wanted.
Well, you can like walk during those, right? Like, cause I mean, there are people who are like competitive with it, right? But like most of the people doing it are kind of just trying to do it.
Yeah, they thankfully extended the time limit because at first the half marathon that I'm doing had a shorter time limit, and I'm like, crap, I don't know if I can hit that. But they extended it so a walking pace can win it.
So what happens if you like if you're still on the track and you hit the time limit, do you just like stop running and you just like it's over or?
Some races have one of those vans, those passenger vans that scoops you up.
And I'm sure that does great for your self-esteem.
And if it's in an area, I mean, you can always refuse. You can shake your head to the person driving, but they'll just force you onto the sidewalk so they can pick up the barricade.
They're just like Grand Theft Auto. It's just like, you know, trying to get you onto the sidewalk with their like just mowing people down. I don't know. That just seems ableist to me. Like, everybody can see everyone in the van, like like
it's the shuttle of shame.
Yeah, I know. It's like if they try to do it, like, just let me do it. Just let me do it. It's like, I don't know. It's like, just go ahead and break everything down. I'm going to just keep going, though. Like, break down the stands, break down the sideline. It's fine. I'm going to keep going, though. Like,
yeah. There was a half marathon that I did 2 summers ago. And the half marathon, I was dead last, and so they just started packing things up while I was out there, and it was out and back. I had no idea where I was going. It's in the middle of nowhere. I have no cell phone signal. I was panicking. There's nobody around me that I can flag down for help, and I just meandered off course back, and then this other slow person who had passed me sees me cross the finish line before they did. I just glanced back. She's the only person who knew that I unintentionally cheated. According to my phone, I only did 10 miles, but it was the effort of a half marathoner.
Yeah. How much is a marathon?
A full marathon is 26.2. And
miles? Damn.
I did that one time.
Yeah.
In Ann Arbor, and also got lost. But thankfully, I was so much slower. So the fast people had gotten lost, and I started following them. But my mind said, not again, after getting lost the other time. And me and this other gentleman in his 70s named Bruce used a map to actually get rerouted.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of wild. They don't put like markers along the course to let you know that you're still on the course.
Well organized marathons and half marathons do. And this one, somebody must have messed with the cones. Bruce flagged down one of the volunteers and he had them go change it. And because we had the early start option, so we got 2 extra hours before the regular folks. And I tried to stop him and be like, no, this is our chance, Bruce. This is our chance to get maybe an extra hour or 2 on people. Because a lot of those folks doing the full marathon got so lost that they could either cut their race short, or if they did the whole course, then they would have like run close to 30 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of them just ended up stopping at a half marathon.
But just not crossing the finish line.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Now, there are like competitive people, right, that are like trying to like win.
Oh, yeah. And they get pissed off. So the ones that didn't need the extra time, who started, they were so pissed off that slower runners from the early start were in front of them because they are trying to get a Boston qualifier.
Yeah. That's weird. Like why would they let the slower people, like it, kind of just feels like let the people that are like trying, like competing, let them go, because they're gonna like smoke everybody anyways, right? So like let them go, get them out of the way, and then let everybody else go. That's just like kind of, I just want to do a marathon that aren't like competing, you know?
Yeah, if they were smarter, those fast people should have signed up for the early start time because you're in your corrals of fast runners, and then it staggers to slow runners. And if they would have had the early start, then they wouldn't have had to be behind them.
The slower people. I don't know. It's just weird. Like I would never. I could never run a marathon. I just don't like running. I'm the mafia. I don't run.
Didn't you do sports in high school? You did football.
I did
right?
do sports in high school. That's why I don't want to run now. And I was like in really good shape back then. Like I could run forever back then. I remember we did I think it was like my sophomore year going into my junior year. We did conditioning in the summer for football. And we were trying to run like a 10-minute mile. Our coach was trying to get us to run a 10-minute mile. I think I ran it in like 6 minutes. I mean, I was like, we were in a gym. We weren't doing it outside, like in the field. So like we had air conditioning and stuff. Like it wasn't like blazing hot. You know, it wasn't like summer like that. So like, you know, in a gym on a basketball court, like with air conditioning, I was just like, I was lapping people. I think I lapped everybody like 2 or 3 times. Like I was just like, I was zooming around that court. Like it must have been like a 6 or 7 minute mile or something like that. Maybe 8. I don't know.
No, it was probably 6 because
Yeah.
eight's pretty average.
Yeah.
At that age.
Yeah. It was like, I think it was like 6 or 7 minutes. Like I mean, I was going. Like everybody else was like slowing down. Like I said, I mean, I lapped everybody legitimately like at least twice.
Did you not do any cool down stuff? Is that why your knees hate you now?
Yeah, I mean,
Or
I
your
just didn't. I
legs?
didn't like take. I would just like play, and then I wouldn't think about like, you know, I wouldn't like stretch after or anything like that. I would just like play, and then I'm done. You know.
That's on the Nike running app, which is my favorite running app. They have coaches give advice there, and their coaches say that that's the most common thing that they deal with their athletes when they try to prep them for the world.
Like to be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Is getting them to warm down. Yeah, I never did any of that. I would just play. I would like play hard, and then when we were done, I just was done. I didn't know like stretches or anything like that to like have my body reacclimate to not being athletic.
That's my favorite part.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. My favorite yoga pose now is Shavasana. So, yeah.
Are you big into stretching now?
I try to be. I am not. I don't want to like give the idea that I do yoga on any sort of consistent schedule. I do it maybe once a month. Like I'm like, I'll hit like a week of the month where I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm gonna start it every morning. I'm gonna do some quick stretches, and I'll do it Monday, and then I just will not do it again. It'll be another 30 days before I get that inspiration of like, oh, I should maybe do some stretches. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do stretches every day. Like it just happens. Like every 30 days, I have that moment where I'm like, I'm going to start now. And then I just do it once and then I don't do it again. But I need to. I need to start stretching.
Do you think your busy schedule gets in the way?
I mean, I'm sure that's part of it. I really don't sleep much. I sleep like maybe 4 or 5 hours a night. Other than on the weekend. On the weekend, I do get some sleep, but during the week, it's like 4 or 5 hours.
It's not healthy. It's aging, like internally aging.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna die young, Sam.
Alex.
unless this happens, and then I can quit my job, and then I can sleep like a normal person.
So, are you just so ridiculously busy, or can you just not turn your mind off?
I mean, I think they feed into each other, right? I think like just being as busy as I am, I can't just be like, okay, now it's time for bed, you know? Like I need to like watch TV for a little bit and like let my brain kind of like slow down. And that usually takes me like an hour or two. So if I'm like working all the way up until 10, you know, it's not gonna be until like midnight, 12:30 that I'm like finally starting to like shut down. And then it might be like another hour before I like actually fall asleep. And then I got to get up at 5:30 to get to work the next day.
That is, I do that when Santiago is out of town.
Yeah.
Less out of being busy and stress, and more out of fear of a break-in. I want them to see lights on and TV going and know that somebody will be ready to get them if they come in. I got these really big.
Well, those deer really bother you, don't they?
They know what to do. They use their horns. They sharpen the horns and pick locks with them.
I'm just imagining a deer picking your lock. Like.
We have an overly sensitive security.
You hear noises rustling in the night, and you go check on it. Like a deer just knocked over your whole salt shaker, and just like licking the salt on the ground. Like, who are you? Get out of here! You're just making noise. The deer freaks out, jumps out of your window.
Yeah. Oh, I think it would impale me with its horns before jumping through. I think it would murder me, and then
yeah,
it definitely will look like a stabbing and not like a deer. I just thought of that. Besides signing up for somebody for newsletters,
yeah,
you could buy deer urine and put it on their car so it attracts deer.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of like the police sketch of the assailant, and it's just like the police. It's just like it's a deer. or it's like a guy with antlers.
I was about to say bullwinkle, but again, that is a moose. Yeah, I think a deer sketch would fit. Mm-hmm. That artist probably has drawn a lot of them.
Yeah.
They are murderers.
Coincidentally, I came home from a gig like kind of late one night, and there was a deer just in the driveway, because we have like an apple tree right off of the driveway. So in the fall, all the apples start falling off, and like all the animals come and eat all the apples. So I was coming home late, and there's just like a deer in the driveway eating apples, and it was not phased. It saw my car coming and did not move. And so I was just like, all right, I'm not gonna fight a deer tonight. So I just went to the end of the street, and then turned back around and started coming back, and it was still there, but this time it like took off when it saw me coming, and I was like, thank God. And now ever since that night, I have an irrational fear of like that deer one day just being a cougar, and I'm like, there are no cougars here, but like I played, I think, too much Red Dead Redemption, and I'm just like terrified of cougars now.
They spotted something. I forgot if it was a cougar or a panther.
It was a cougar. It was like in I don't even think it was the UP. I think it was just up north.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was John was going up north with his family that weekend, and it was like in that area. And John has told me he'd be in the woods like with his daughter like late at night when they go up north, and they'll hear like in the distance it sounds like a lady screaming. And he said that that's actually like the female cougars. Like they're trying to find out where everybody else is. And so they just like scream basically. And then like the other cougars, I think, make noise as well or something. And so like his daughter the first time was like, oh, somebody's in trouble. And she wanted to like go towards it. And John was like, no.
Yeah. No. His daughter is so great. Just the fact that that's
yeah, her. I know. Yeah, her initial reaction is, somebody's in trouble. We got to go help. I'd be like, yeah, that means there's trouble where they are, and we are fine right now. Yeah, it's going the opposite direction.
Sounds like they're done for anyway.
Sounds like we're too late, so we should just save ourselves at this point.
They want that for us.
Listen, those screams sound like selfless screams, and they're gonna want us to keep the species going, so we're just gonna like turn around and go back. Trust me, that bear or cougar or whatever it is, it's not gonna waste any part of her body. Okay, she's going to go to very good use.
I do not want them to see us and think meal prep. I am so worried about woodland creatures. We did have, you've been to my house before. You know how populated it is. And even we had a deer in our driveway.
I mean,
before.
you guys live in I'll bleep that out. I'll bleep that out. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. I won't. I'll bleep it out.
I paid top dollar to have my information.
Yeah.
Not removed yet, but it's still.
Yes. You guys live off of a very populated highway in a very, very popular suburb.
Yeah, and a deer was just looking at me, and I almost hit it because I just don't think of a deer going to be in our driveway. But it stared at me, and I tried taking a video, and it was playing Megan Thee Stallion's remix of Mariah Carey's song.
Mm-hmm.
And with that in the background, plus the deer making direct eye contact, made quite the little music video.
Oh, that's funny.
How about you? What's been going on in your life?
I've been podcasting.
You started a new one.
Yes. That one kind of came together very, very quickly. With really no thought or preparation behind it. Friend of the show, Mike Cronin, messaged me and friend of the show, who we just mentioned, John Mahar, to see if we wanted to do a Detroit Lions / Michigan Wolverines podcast with him. So we're doing that. It's pretty low effort. We just kind of like watch the game, take some notes, and then talk about it. And we just released that. And if you want information about the teams and the games, we are not the podcast for you. But if you want to laugh and hear jokes about the teams and the games, we are the podcast for you. So,
do you also talk about Detroit's XFL team?
No, we only talk about the Lions and Wolverines. And actually, Zach Martina is on the show with us as well. He just wasn't there for the first episode. So it's the four of us. Heck
yeah. And when do those drop?
Same day as this.
Oh, you make a competing podcast, Alex?
Like I said, wasn't very well thought out. And we got to get that episode out. Games are Sundays, Saturday and Sunday, and sometimes Monday. We got to get that episode out. So
we're struggling for views, and you put out another content grabber.
Well, listen, that one doesn't have video, so that one purely is audio only. Which, hey, can I take a second to say, fuck you, Apple Podcast?
What happened?
It will not let me log into the account. Like I log in, it immediately logs me out and sends me back to the login page. And I found something that said you have to sign up for an Apple Store account first and then do the podcast thing. So I went and I did the Apple Store sign in, and it's still not letting me in.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, so you guys will get audio only episodes eventually. I don't know when. As soon as Apple Podcast lets me in, that's when that'll happen.
I heard it's on Spotify though.
It's on Spotify, yep. But if you don't have Spotify and you want to listen to it on Apple Podcast, you're gonna have to deal with ads,
It's a shame.
It is. It's a damn shame. You know, I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We
Does
will
it work
figure it
for parking lot salad?
Yeah, because that's audio only. But it's for Apple Pod. No, it's doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing for Apple Podcast. But also I didn't write the password down for our email right away, and now I forgot it already. So now I gotta like reset that password, and that's because of like all the new stuff that Google implemented with like the pass keys and stuff like that. It's like it. I just hate. I want to move to the. I want a cougar to eat me. Like I do. I want a cougar to eat me. Trying to deal with all this stupid technology.
Is the scream just somebody dealing with
The scream? If you're up north and you hear a scream in the woods late at night, it's me trying to deal with all this technology. That's what it is. If you are an IT professional walking in the woods up north late at night and you hear screams that sound like a female in distress, it's actually me pissed off that Apple Podcasts won't take my podcast, and please come help me.
Have you been able to let off any steam at any bathhouses?
I did a brief little stint last week, but
Was Dr. Pimple Popper there?
did we talk about that on the show?
Yeah.
We did? I can't remember.
We did not talk about the fact that it was like a perfect place for Dr. Pimple Popper. It's probably him, because you get to see all the skin, all of clothes free.
Yeah, but the lighting is bad though.
You can go in private rooms though, right?
Yeah, you can.
He could have one set up with lights. Get somebody to go back in there.
Yeah. There is. It's funny. There's a guy that goes there. I don't think they are actually trans, and I don't know what the proper terminology for that would be, but they definitely enjoy being dressed in like feminine clothing. And they clearly have an OnlyFans because they get one of the big rooms at the bathhouse, and then have like 4 iPhones set up at each corner of the room and just wait for guys to come in.
What? Like guys that are at the bathhouse to come in?
Yeah.
What? Is there a consent form that?
So there has to be, because I believe when you are an OnlyFans creator, I believe you have to have some sort of like disclaimer for everyone that appears in your video.
Yeah.
So like they have to have something. Unless they're just doing it for free and putting it on Twitter.
It seems like a Twitter move.
Yeah. But I mean, they make it very clear that there are cameras in the room, so it's not like they're doing like hidden cam stuff. It's like very, very obvious that there's 4 iPhones on tripods. If you come in here, you're gonna get recorded.
Have you ever done it?
No. The only way I could do it is if I had a mask on and a sleeve for my arm.
Now I know what to get you for your birthday next year. And if somebody's vision impaired, that would be hard, especially if they're super vision impaired.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like they have a walking stick and they're going no to go around and tap each corner. Yeah, this is a tripod. I wish I could monetize my body like that. I don't think I would have subscribers on OnlyFans unless they had a thing for Phil and Lil's mom on Rugrats.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like in the bear category of OnlyFans, I feel like I would like do okay.
You would thrive.
I would do okay, but I see other people who do that, like that are also doing comedy, and I feel like the people who come out to see them are not coming out to see them do jokes, and that kind of like okay, yeah, sure, I could probably scrap together a little bit of a following that way. But like those people are going to come to the show and like probably like make it really annoying for me while I'm trying to do stand up.
Do you think they would heckle?
I don't know if they would heckle, but I don't know that they would like. I think it would be like one of those instances where like I'm not getting the laughs that I want because they're not there because they didn't become a fan because of my humor. They became a fan because of my ass. So they probably won't get my humor, but because they think I'm hot, they're going to like laugh.
Yeah, that counts still.
But they're not going to laugh the way someone would laugh that actually gets the humor, So like, I don't know. It's like, could I build an audience that way? I'm not like a huge audience, but I could probably build like somewhat of an audience that way. But it's not like the fans that I want. People that like get the jokes,
But you could snowball it. You start with thirsty fans. You wear some chaps on stage as you're performing. But clubs will be like, oh, he's a bringer. We need to book him. And then those same audiences will have walk-ups who will genuinely be there for your jokes. And then you'll just build up the walk-ups. And those will be the real comedy fans. And then they'll overwhelm the OnlyFans fans.
That's a beautiful sentiment. I don't know how much that actually would work in like real time.
Can you use OnlyFans as a credit?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's like that OnlyFans festival now, right?
Yeah, I think it's a showcase.
Or a showcase, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean there's that, but I don't know. I'm sure you can. I mean, if you can use TikTok, if you can say like I have 4 million TikTok followers and get work, I'm sure you could probably use OnlyFans as well. I think all these people really care about is how many followers you have anyway.
Do you think they check if they're real?
I think like the closer the thing is to like the actual industry, I think they do. But if you're just talking about like a comedy club, especially like a D room, I doubt they're checking. I think they're just like looking at the number and they're like, oh wow, But like if you're talking about like trying to get into like some bigger festivals, like if you're talking about like trying to get into like Netflix as a joke or something like that, or like when JFL was around, like I'm sure they're like checking to make sure that is a legit follower count.
That's a lucrative business model, though. Just setting up email accounts to make fake profiles and then selling.
Well, you automate it. That's how you do that. Oh. Yeah, like all those, like those are people just write bot scripts, and all this bot does is like it just makes emails and Twitter accounts all day and just follows you.
That is wild.
Yeah. Somebody did that to a friend of mine as a prank, like way back in the beginning, before like follower accounts were a thing, when Twitter was just like fun still. And someone paid for a bot account to give him like tens of thousands of followers. And one day his follower account just like exploded, and he starts DMing me. He's like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. And he started freaking out, and he found out like one of his coworkers like went to like Fiverr and bought like like paid a bot to like give him like 70,000 followers or something.
That is hilarious. To imagine back in the day what they thought would be possible with technology.
Yeah.
How many followers do you think the Terminator would have?
I don't know. I feel like the Terminator would be pretty popular, right? Because like you would have the people that want to know where he is so they could avoid it. But then you would have like the bots, and of course the bots would be on the Terminator's side. Like the bots would just be like fans of his work.
Would the Terminator have a regular social media account? Would the Terminator be an OnlyFans?
I feel like it would be kind of like a food truck deal, right? like food trucks have their Twitter accounts. They can be like, hey, gonna be in Cadillac Square today, and then everybody like goes to Cadillac Square. I think he would maybe do something like that, but like maybe like a little different. Like I think he would be faking you out. I think he'd be like, hey, I'm gonna be like in Eastern Market today, so everybody avoids Eastern Market, and then he would be like in all the places around Eastern Market, you know.
What about Rosie from the Jetsons?
Rosie from the Jetsons, I feel like would be more of like a Roomba situation, right? Like you could maybe like tie it to your phone to let like so that she can like let you know when the tasks you gave her are done.
What kind of profile other than Roomba? What kind of social media interaction? Would you say she's big on TikTok or OnlyFans?
Rosie seems like a poster. I think Rosie would just be TikTok or Twitter actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she would just be on Twitter. Rosie doesn't seem like a dancer. She doesn't seem like a video gal. She seems like she's just like posting, you know.
What about C3PO?
C3PO? That's a good question. I don't know. C3PO is not a dancer. I think he would be a TikToker, but I think he would be like one of those TikTokers that's like three things the government doesn't want you to know. Like I think he'd be like one of those TikTokers, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's pretty accurate.
He would either be that. No, actually, you know what he would be? He would be one of those TikTok accounts that shows you how to clean stuff. Have you ever seen those?
Those are my favorite.
I love those. Yeah.
I'm such a dirty person. Every time I see those, I think I'll be like that one day.
Yeah, you're just like saving like all the different ways to use vinegar to clean your house, but you just never do any of them.
Every time. I get a ton of those targeted videos now. Hoarder houses, I get a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was having a hard time falling asleep last night.
What was happening?
I don't know. I just couldn't sleep. So I took an edible for the first time in a really long time. And I fell asleep as I was starting to feel the effects. And I thought that was it. Like I thought, because it wasn't a strong, I think it was like 10 milligrams maybe. But that's probably maybe too much for not having taken them in a long time. And so I fall asleep and I slept all the way through the night. And then I woke up in the morning and I could still feel the edible. And like,
how long did you sleep?
7 hours. Yeah, 7 hours. Because I fell asleep around 1 and I woke up around 8. So like 7 hours. But like that, I just felt high for most of the morning. Like I felt fine by about noon, but I felt high for like most of the morning. And I had like one high thought.
You can't just say that and not say the thought immediately after. What did you think?
So my high thought today was like, what if we actually are superheroes, but because we're all superheroes, we're so like desensitized to our superpowers that they're just normal.
What kind of superpowers would seem normal?
Like just strength, you know, like we look at each other and we're like, oh, we're weak compared to everything else. But what if we're actually strong and it's just this planet? So like, you know, what if we actually, like we always talk about becoming what if we are superheroes, but it's just that like we're all superheroes. So like it's just normal, you know?
Yeah. Do you still feel that way?
No, I'm not high anymore. So, yeah, I'm not high anymore. So I'm like, no, we're not superheroes. We're weak.
Where's your sense of wonder, Alex? I am not high right now, and I am thinking, hi, Alex had some pretty good thoughts.
Oh, you're enabling me now. No, I mean, you know, woke up this morning and I was watching YouTube and I saw a video of like two chimpanzees fighting, and I was like, oh yeah, we're not superheroes.
Do you think you could take a chimpanzee?
Absolutely not. They would rip my face off in a second.
What?
Yeah.
I think you could take a chimpanzee.
No. They're one of the strongest and most brutal primates on the planet.
Yeah, but you've done improv before.
I mean, the strongest one actually, I think, is an orangutan. But orangutans, for the most part, are kind of chill. But like, if you annoy an orangutan, it will check you.
I think I could take an orangutan. I have an anger inside. I'm just looking to release on one of God's creatures.
Yeah. I say this with care and love. You cannot take an orangutan. And please do not try.
I wouldn't attack an orangutan unprovoked. That orangutan would have to do something, and then I would escalate. But that orangutan would have to initiate.
Well, thank God orangutans, like I said, are pretty chill, so they probably wouldn't initiate. But like a chimpanzee would for sure initiate. And the problem is, where there's one chimp, there's usually more. And you're never going to just be fighting one chimpanzee.
You kill the first one and use its body as dead weight, and you start swinging it around. Take out as many as you can.
These are not toddlers. They may be the size of a toddler, but their muscles are dense. Their muscles are very dense.
Well, we're both biters.
Well, they are too. And their jaw is a lot stronger than ours. Everything that we think we have as an advantage, they also have and are better at it.
Do they know to go for the eyes?
I think so. Their go-to move is to kind of bite your face off. So yeah. Go on YouTube and look up chimpanzee attacks. Every video, the person that got attacked has no face anymore.
It gives me more incentive to have pepper spray, because they can't have pepper spray on them because they have no pockets. I can whip it out, and they don't stand a chance against brass knuckles.
I mean, their fists are brass knuckles. So, I mean,
Alex, where's that optimism that you had when you were high? Okay, hi Alex sounds like he would have backed me up on this.
I'm just trying to save you, because I don't want you going to the Detroit Zoo trying to pick a fight with a chimpanzee, thinking that you can take a chimpanzee.
I did learn that the zoos do not tell you what happens with the bodies when they die.
Don't they just cremate them? I would think they just cremate them, right?
Yeah. I think we talked about it on an episode that we didn't publish.
Maybe. One of the ones that failed.
Yeah.
One of the original attempts at episode 1.
Yeah. And they say that they do it to be more respectful, but they piece up the body so they can fit it into the crematory.
Oh yeah, we did talk about this. I mean, like, you know how expensive it would be to make a hippo crematorium, though? You know, like I get it. And also, like, if you're about to cremate me, cut me up. Like, if that makes it easier, cut me into pieces. That's fine. Like, you're cremating me anyway. Like, my body's going to become dust in a second anyway. Like, who cares? You know?
But the same could be said for them just letting poachers take them. And they could make more money for the zoo.
So your angle is we're not being efficient enough.
Work smarter, not harder.
Would the natives approve of this? We're not using all parts of this animal.
What would the animal have wanted? Would they have wanted their sibling to have an extra scoop of food because the zoo sold their body? I think so.
I think the animal would not know what's going on and freak out.
I'm just thinking about greater good.
No, I'm honestly, that is a good point though. The animal's dead anyway. Poacher's gonna poach. Like, let's give them this elephant that died naturally anyway. Let's give them its husk. If it means that like one less elephant is gonna be murdered out in the wild.
Yeah. See, this is conservation efforts, Alex.
I would imagine though it's gonna be more expensive for them to get the tusk that way though, because like it's legit. Like anytime you do something legit, the cost goes up. That's why there's a black market for it.
Yeah.
Because if they go into the Serengeti themselves and just shoot an elephant, like that's free, other than like the plane ticket and the guns and bullets.
Yeah, but they're also making it illegal over there, and they have their own police force.
Well, yeah, but that's not going to stop anybody. Legalize poaching, like where we're going to have poaching dispensaries.
I think that having it from a zoo, they can say, "Oh, this is high quality. This isn't a plaster tusk. This tusk used to be on Lefty, the elephant." I would say that makes it worth more. Lefty had a whole story.
Did we talk about lab diamonds on the last episode?
No.
Well, like they're just diamonds that get made in a lab as opposed to like mined. And apparently there's like really no difference between the two. But like the lab diamonds are like way cheaper just because they're lab diamonds and they didn't like get, kind of created under pressure over time. It didn't take like hundreds of thousands of years to create this diamond. It was just like made in a laboratory. So like the value's a lot lower. I feel like if we could do this with tusks, but it would be the same thing. Just people wouldn't value the lab tusk, Like I feel like with all this like technology, like CRISPR and stuff, we could probably duplicate like elephant tusks in a laboratory.
Oh yeah, if we can grow a pig's heart, we can grow an elephant tusk.
Yeah. But people wouldn't go for that though because they're like psychos and they want the one off of the living elephant. Which like shows you it's not about the tusk. Like everybody like wants to, like people want to like, oh, this is ivory, feel it, and it's like, okay, but like the lab one would feel exactly the same. It's not the ivory, it's the blood. That's what you're craving. You have a bloodlust, and it's coming out in the form of ivory piano keys or something. I don't know.
I also don't think that there's a difference if there's pain involved. Adds to the density a little bit.
The pain is what makes this grand piano sound so grand. The blood and the muscle and the cartilage. That's why this grand piano is worth as much as it is.
You hear that high note? That elephant hit that too. Towards the end. Would you buy a lab-made diamond?
Yeah, I don't care.
It's not covered in blood of children mining it.
No, just the brains of a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I mean, I would buy one. I don't care.
Would you ever be a poacher?
No, I wouldn't. I don't think I could like kill an animal like that.
If you were guaranteed a salary of $1 million a year, would you be a poacher? No, there is no animal restriction. You could kill any animal.
So I think I could do it for a little bit just because like if you're putting me in that situation, that obviously that's a lot of money. But I think also at the beginning of that, I don't think I would like understand the emotional tax that would come on me from like killing so many animals. But I think I would eventually just hit a point where it's like I'm killing a lot of fucking animals and I would like not be able to do it anymore.
What animal limit would you think a year? What would be your threshold of killing
I don't know, like probably not high. Like maybe half a dozen. I think by like the sixth one, I'm like, this is fucked up.
So 5 animals, if you were paid $1 million a year, doable.
I feel like we're gonna hit stop on this recording, and you're gonna pass me a contract. You're gonna be like, I need a new mantle over my fireplace. I want it to be pure ivory.
There's one man for the job.
Really, you're just tricking me to go into a forest where like the Predator from the Predator movies is there. You just need me to kill him because he's like stalking you or something. I'm just dead within seconds of being in the forest.
That was really a deer.
You just dress a deer up like an elephant. Call its antlers ivory.
I'm also trying to get us sponsorships with it.
Get us a Steinway sponsorship.
Look, Bush Factory, if you need anyone to load up Bush Gardens, either location, Alex can get you 5 a year.
I'm just like, I just become like one of those like hardened like military guys, like from one of those like weird like movies where like someone's just like a killing machine, but they just can't live with it, so they end up living in the forest by themselves. And like people come to me constantly trying to get me to train them, but I just keep turning them down until someone with a pure heart shows up, and then I take them under my wing, and then they surpass me in skill.
And then they butcher everything. This is a movie that needs to be made.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a weird scar on my face. People ask me like what it's from, and they'll be like, "Oh, did a bear gouge your eye out?" And I'm like, "No, I slipped on a banana peel."
How about this? It's roadkill, and you have to get the antlers without any tools.
Is that even possible? Like, can you rip antlers off of a deer like that? I feel like that's not possible. I feel like you have to have a saw. And if it's already dead, then yeah, I can probably do that. But if I have to kill it, I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't want to kill a deer just for its antler. Like if I got like, okay, let's talk scenarios, right? Like if like let's say this is the apocalypse and we're starving and we have to eat, and there's a deer and I have a rifle. Like, sure, yes, I can kill a deer in that situation because, like, I got to eat. But if you're just like, oh, those antlers are cool, go get them. I'm like, no, that's fucking crazy.
But pre-dead. Like, if
something already killed it.
Yeah, like if a Pacifica already took it out.
These plans are just coming. They just keep bubbling out. You're not fooling anyone, Sam. You're just trying to reconcile your own conscience right now, because these are all things that you would do, and you're just trying to see if I would do it too, so you can make yourself feel better. You're just trying to convince yourself that you're not a psycho.
Look, it's normal to buy a minivan and barbed wire. and just string it on there like it's flames. Everybody does this.
But yeah, if the deer was already dead, I could probably just saw the antlers off.
How long do you think it'd take you?
I don't know. Is it a good saw? Is it a bad saw? Is it a hand saw? Is it like a motorized saw? Like what?
It's a rusty saw missing half the teeth.
Okay, if you're gonna give me the worst saw ever, it might take me a few hours.
And do you think you'd preserve the integrity of the antler, or do you think
Not
you'd
around the
get
base. If you're giving me the shittiest saw ever, the base is gonna be rough.
Do you think you'd get halfway and then just yank it off, like break it off?
How long has the deer been dead? Because if it's just started to rot, then maybe. But if it's a fresh kill, there's no way I'm ripping an antler off of a deer that was alive 5 minutes ago. Like, you know.
But 7 minutes is fair game, open season.
Listen, I can try. I'm not saying I wouldn't try. I can try, but I'm not getting the antlers off. Like, I'm not a superhero.
Have you ever killed an animal?
Have I ever killed an Not intentionally.
How many unintentionally?
I think 2.
Same.
Why do I have the feeling that this is our last podcast episode? Because you're just getting everything out that you need to get out right now. Like the nightmares are going to stop after this episode.
This is very healing for me.
The voices are going to be gone once we hit stop on this recording.
We're going to lose all our deer fans, though.
All the deer that subscribe to Spotify are going to start reporting us. All right. There was a question. What was the question?
How many have you unintentionally killed? So 2?
Unintentionally killed, yes. Okay, so I was driving on a service road with a very high speed limit one day, and a squirrel jumped out in front of my car, literally like 5 feet in front of me, and I was going like 50 miles an hour, and there was just no way I was going to stop. So I had to keep going, and I'm like, I hope the squirrel ducks. Please let the squirrel duck. It did not duck. I heard a thunk, and I had to keep driving. And then I looked at my rear view, and it was just in the road. And I was like, God damn it.
How was the rest of your day?
Not very good.
Did you leave the squirrel?
What was that?
Did you leave the squirrel?
I left the squirrel. This was not a road that you could just stop and turn around on. I mean, it was...
I'm sure the squirrel thought that too.
And then the second one, I remember my grandfather caught a sparrow and tried to give it to me as a pet. And I was like maybe 4 years old, so I didn't know anything. And so we put it in a shoebox because we were going to go to the store or whatever, and we forgot to put holes in the shoebox. And when we came back, the bird was dead.
What? That's an airtight shoebox.
I know. I think it maybe just died of shock.
Oh.
I don't think it like suffocated. I think it was just like in a dark box for like 2 hours, and probably just like was just so scared. I think it just like died.
Did you have a funeral?
We buried it. We did bury it
In the box?
in the box in the backyard. Yeah, in the garden.
Oh. Did you make a little headstone?
No, we didn't make a headstone.
Do you think the current property owners would be okay with you placing a headstone?
Well, my mom is still in that house, so.
So, Alex, what are you going to do about this? Are we going to rectify?
No, the bird is just going to stay where it is.
Do you think it's still intact?
No, there's no way. The worms ate that by now. It's just a skeleton in a box at this point.
How old or how many years ago was it?
39 years ago.
So you've let this sparrow sit in an unmarked grave for 39 years. You still have time to change it, Alex.
I think you right now are just trying to deflect away from admitting to the animals that you've killed.
Well, after your stories, I have to up mine from 2 to 3 because there's one I forgot.
Okay, well, what animals have you killed?
The one I will discuss is the possum. Same as the squirrel situation. But I feel guilty because I learned that possums are marsupials and that a lot of them have babies in their tummies when they're hit. And so only rescuers who are brave go and check to see if they had any babies. So I hope I did not murder
An entire family?
Yeah.
If you did, your body count is going way up. It's probably more like 9. Didn't know I was doing a podcast with a serial killer.
And the other 2, I've only told one other person. Yep.
I wanna like assume that if I come to like your house and look in the crawl space, it's just gonna be all dead possums just under your house.
Like, it's not 100 dead possums. It is a carpet. It adds character.
Mm-hmm. And are we gonna talk about the other 2 or no?
I'm just gonna let you wonder. I'm not even gonna tell you how many legs.
They had 4 legs each. It was 2 humans, wasn't it? Or 4 legs total, I mean.
People are animals.
They are, actually. We separate ourselves from the animal kingdom, but we are part of it. We're not part of the food chain anymore, but we are part of the animal kingdom.
Yes, King.
What was it?
I said yes, King.
Yes, King.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think we're getting close to time here.
Yeah. Okay. So performance-wise, where could your OnlyFans fans see you in the coming weeks if you had an account? Can you imagine how hilarious it would be if you had a friend just set up cameras around your house and say that the account is candid?
Oh man. Okay, wait. This is coming. Okay, I don't know. We gotta sync up our weeks better because this is not gonna come out the upcoming Wednesday. This is gonna be the Wednesday after that.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I gonna be? I don't think I have anything immediately after this is gonna come out. The only thing I can really, I think, maybe push is I'm gonna be at the stand UP, like Upper Peninsula Comedy Festival.
Those guys.
I'm gonna be featuring for Stuart Huff up there, and I want to say that's November 7th.
Mm-hmm.
I would check my phone, but I'm using my phone to monitor the camera, and so I can't check my phone right now.
Yeah, no, I think it is the first weekend in November.
Yeah, I think it's November 7th, the night that I'm going up there, that I'll be up there with Stuart. I'm really pumped about that. I love I love working with Stuart. Stuart is my favorite comedian.
And those shows are packed out.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear it's like a really good festival. So I'm pumped about that. I'm looking forward to it. And then at the end of November, again, I don't remember the date exactly. I believe it's November 22nd. I will be in Bay City for the Jester's Court Festival again.
And do you have like a website where the dates are?
No, I'm working on it. It's taking me forever to do it. I am a web developer by day, and it is taking me forever to build this website.
I don't maintain my website. I don't add the dates. I need to get better at putting my dates in, because if somebody went to it and looked, it would look like I have nothing and I've had nothing for a while. So I need to get better at that, or just break down and get a link tree. That seems easy.
I mean, I have a link tree, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to have to like constantly like add new dates and all that stuff. The website I'm working on, I'm trying to like make it so that like there's like a back end to it, so I can like log in, and then there's just like a form, and I just fill out the form and it just adds the dates to the site. It's taking me a long time to do.
Have faith in you. I think that you can, just take one of the hours, one of the 3 hours you have to sleep, and patch it together.
Yeah.
You got this. Who needs those 3 hours a night, Alex?
I mean, I think they're just like, cosmetic at this point. How about you? Do you have any shows?
I have the Saugatuck show coming up October 26th.
Okay, I think that'll be after this comes out.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sad because I will miss Mercer's.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I have that on my calendar. I want to go to that. Mm-hmm. Another friend of the show, Brett Mercer, is recording an album at the end of October at the Independent Comedy Club. Do you know what day that is?
Saturday.
But like date-wise.
The 26th, October 26th.
Oh, it's October 26th? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, October 26th, Brett Mercer's album recording at the Independent Comedy Club. Mm-hmm. You guys should go check that out.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then if you're on the west side of Michigan, you can see me at Coral Gables in Saugatuck, Michigan.
That same night.
Yeah. And then I have Tommy Cook's show in Ypsilanti at it begins with an F. Look up places in Ypsilanti that begin with an F.
I need to use my old iPhone to monitor this so I can like have my phone in front of me with these dates.
And what else? Oh, I'm doing a show with Billy and Britta Chapman in
nice.
Waterford.
Oh, nice.
Too, that week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think unless you want to confess on your animal killings, I think that's the episode.
No, we are going to forget that and bury that deep inside until I want to talk to a therapist about it. But in the meantime, if you haven't listened to our other episodes, you should do that and follow the page too.
Yes. Follow our Instagram, TikTok. We'll be putting clips out. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's a YouTube clip channel. Subscribe to that. Just like, also you can like just send us money if you want. Venmo, Cash App, whatever. You can just send us money. That's fine.
We're not above it.
Yeah, neither one of us would be upset. All right. We will see you guys next time.